Good afternoon, everyone. Summer snow in Europe, Austrian Alps, Carpathian Mountains, snow rescues, Ukraine, snow on the top of Etna, Italy, hail in Sicily, hail on the beaches of Italy. And when you see images like this of colliding weather fronts, makes you wonder. Greece, massive floods on the way. Italy, massive floods on the way. This is turning from snow into rain, by the way. But when we look at Arctic temperatures, it's actually a little bit below normal, from 80 degrees north all the way up to the North Pole. You're going to have to grow some of your own food during the grand solar minimum, so you might as well start with microgreens. Which one do you think is the most nutritious? The amaranth sprouts, which are red, or the sunflower sprouts, which are green? You can find the trueleafmarket.com Adapt 2030 link below, along with all the links for tonight's images and articles. We're going to start over in Italy. Snow, and I mean thick, massive snow blanketing Etna. You can see some of the erupting volcano in the back there as well. Bad weather in the south. It's kind of an understatement. I want to wide that out for you. And the images coming off social media and plus the kind of conversation in Italy is that this is so rare, so unusual, so strange that there has to be some other cause bringing snow in summer to not only the Italian Alps, but Etna, and then we have snow in the Ukraine and Slovenia. And take a look at these beaches down in Sardinia yesterday. Massive hailstorm, and it wasn't just located in a single area. This front was accompanied with massive waterspouts. I mean, these look like EF2 tornadoes coming out of the U.S. Midwestern Plains states. And as was reported, this hail came down literally everywhere, coastal. So I heard about the rescues going on with the school students up in Ukraine, and I thought, okay, how much snow really fell? So I went to snowforecast.com, and it's a really scary world we live in where you get better snow casting. Ski resort snow forecasts are actually better than the mainstream media and news forecasts for snowfall or reporting on it is. That orange is between 10 and 25 centimeters. For those of you in the States, 30 centimeters is a foot. And keep in mind, this is just part of the Alps. It's in Italy, not even showing Etna down in the south. But what's going to happen is this snow and weather front, this is going to turn into rain. And when I say massive floods are on the way, seriously, massive floods are on the way, and you really need to take caution. This storm that's coming, not only in Italy, but over in Greece, they're already experiencing biblical floods. And it is going to continue to amplify for the next 3 days, and the temperatures are going to be dropping as well over these next 3 days. They're looking down into single digits in Celsius, which brings you down into what, the 40-degree Fahrenheit? Wait a second, this is almost July. It is officially summer, and they're literally going to get 40-degree temperatures and more snow blanketing the peaks of the Alps either at the very end of June or the first days of July. And when I do say it's unusual with these colliding fronts, cold and heat mixing, look at the ferocity of what's coming down on the weather fronts. That previous water spout that I showed you, that's not this one. This is completely different. There were hundreds that came down yesterday. And these changes that you're seeing in the uptick of size of events, it's going to continue through the next 4 to 5 years before we might even hit one of the first peaks in the grand solar minimum. It's here in front of you as a sign. You can choose to do what you want with this information. But when the news headlines in Italy are saying bad weather in the south, snow on Etna, temperatures back into March, they're already in the single digits, and it's forecast to drop even further, another 3 to 4 degrees Celsius over the next couple of days. Now, what has fallen so far in the Alps? This is in Austrian Alps, no less. June 25th, about this much snow. That's about 25 centimeters for those of you in the States. If you're looking, So the same amount had been falling through the Italian Alps as well. And it just kept continuing right over through Slovenia into the Julian Alps. Which brings me over to the rescues that went on. Snow in the Carpathian Mountains. Now I'll come to some maps in case you don't know where that's at. Poland, Slovakia, and the Ukraine. But they had to rescue 27 children because where they went up to go camp got snowed in and they were freezing in their tents. It was an emergency rescue due to snow in summer. And you notice in the article 2 areas are referenced here. Mount Blusinsia and also the High Tatras. So taking a look over here, the Carpathian National Park Center, that's in the Ukraine. That's a fair bit inside the border of Ukraine, marked there with the dot. Now keep that in your mind for reference. Just above Romania there, that's as far as the snow came to the east. Jumping over here to Slovakia, you can see the Low Tatra and then the High Tatra. That is right on the border with Poland there. So you get an idea of where these two areas are. Now that snow extended, and I want to white out here for you so you can see the Tatra, exactly where it is. Poland, Slovakia, right on the border. Now keep in mind that snow went from that point where you see in the Tatras all the way through Slovakia, pretty much where the yellow mark is, over into the Ukraine. What's that, 600 straight miles of snowfall, and then there was snowfall through the Austrian Alps and the Italian Alps, and this is all right now. This is not back in January or February. This is summer snow. And then I thought, okay, that's really rare. Let me jump over to Windy and take a look at some temperatures. Where you see all that white above Hudson Bay, Baffin Island, that's all snowing there as well. And Baffin Island should ring a bell because that was the known point for the last glaciation on our planet. And going a little further north, up to 80 degrees north, up to the North Pole, encompassing the entire northern hemisphere from 80 north up to the exact North Pole, the temperatures are below normal. The sea ice is at a 13-year high at this point. And somehow the media is telling you that we're at all-time record heat and both poles are melting. It's time to really take a step back and start asking the media, questioning what they're giving us, because all of this information is downright telling you that something has changed. There should not be summer snow, and the poles really shouldn't be gaining ice going into the summer. Antarctica, right back to the 1981 to 2010 baseline. I'll do a video on it later. I only have so many hours in the day to do research. There is so much going on right now. And I do thank you for watching the video. I encourage you to do your own research. All the links are below, and there's so much more out there with these snow photos. It is mind-boggling how much snow came down in Europe over these last 3 days. And they're forecast to have 3 more days of snow, and record floods, and record hail, and more rescues. This is a taste of what is coming. Grand solar minimums here. I hope you're starting to make plans because governments are not going to help you. You're going to be on your own, and that's all I'm going to say about it. But good luck in your preparations.